Have you ever wondered how simply thinking about something we normally do without effort can mess it up? This is called the Centipede's dilemma. Imagine a centipede with its many legs gliding effortlessly. Now imagine it suddenly starts focusing on which leg to move first. Chaos, right? It's the same for us when we think about activities like breathing or walking, which are usually automatic. Try it now. You're suddenly manually breathing. This simple idea illustrates how overthinking can disrupt tasks we usually do without conscious effort. Another common concept is the volunteer's dilemma. Imagine witnessing a crime, like a serial killer attacking someone in public, with a crowd of bystanders present. Each person assumes someone else will step in or call the police, so no one does anything. This tragic phenomenon is precisely what happened in the 1964 Kitty Genovese case in New York. It's known as the bystander effect, or Genovese Syndrome, highlighting how group inaction can emerge from the assumption that someone else will handle it. In the realm of healthcare, the Transplant Dilemma presents an ethical challenge. When there aren't enough organs for transplants, who gets priority? The youngest? The sickest? Those who've waited the longest? Deciding who deserves a second chance at life isn't simple, and the fairness of these decisions is hotly debated. Let's move on to a false dilemma known as Morton's fork. This dilemma, named after John Morton in the 15th century, revolves around contradictory observations leading to the same conclusion. He claimed that if someone lived modestly, they must have savings and could therefore afford taxes. On the flip side, if someone lived extravagantly, they were obviously wealthy and could also afford taxes. Essentially, it didn't matter how people lived, they were taxed regardless. We also have the dictator's dilemma. Dictators, who rely on repression to maintain control, struggle to understand what their people truly think. Why? Because fear of punishment leads citizens to hide their real opinions. The dictator might believe things are fine because the public isn't protesting, but in reality, the people are just afraid of the consequences of dissent. Then there's the autonomous vehicle dilemma. Should a self-driving car prioritize protecting the driver or pedestrians? This moral and technological conundrum is a modern ethical puzzle that asks us to decide what a machine should value more: human lives outside or inside the car. The strategic voting dilemma also highlights tough choices. Voters often face the decision of casting their ballot for a candidate they truly believe in, who might have little chance of winning, or voting for a less preferred candidate with a better chance. If too many people vote idealistically, it could split the vote, inadvertently helping a less desired candidate to win. Now, the Samaritan's dilemma. When we help someone, we might unknowingly create dependence or reduce their motivation to improve. It's a fine balance between providing a lifeline and unintentionally encouraging complacency. Moving to the hedgehog's dilemma, which compares human relationships to hedgehogs trying to get close for warmth. Just like hedgehogs can hurt each other with their spines, people can unintentionally hurt one another in relationships, even when trying to get closer. Schopenhauer used this to explain how intimacy often comes with the risk of emotional pain. Consider Heinz's dilemma, a classic ethical scenario. A man's wife is critically ill, and the only cure is an expensive drug. The pharmacist refuses to lower the price, even though Heinz can't afford it. Heinz considers stealing the drug. This dilemma raises the question, is stealing justified to save a life? Then there's Schelling's dilemma, also known as the Hobbesian trap, which explains why fear can lead to preemptive strikes. Mutual distrust leads to defensive actions that only escalate the conflict, even though cooperation would benefit both parties. A philosophical puzzle, the Munchausen trilemma, argues that it's impossible to prove any truth without making assumptions. No matter how far back you go in seeking proof, there's always another layer, leading to either circular reasoning, infinite regression, or baseless assertions. Another well-known thought experiment is the prisoner's dilemma. Two people, arrested for a crime, have the choice to betray each other or cooperate. If they both betray, they get longer sentences. But if one betrays while the other stays silent, the betrayer walks free. The dilemma showcases how rational choices don't always lead to the best collective outcome. In economics, the Transplant Dilemma describes a problem faced by a country whose currency becomes the global reserve. The country must provide enough currency to meet international demand, which often results in trade deficits that erode confidence in its currency's value. It's a tension between national and global economic stability. Finally, we have the famous trolley problem, an ethical scenario where you control a lever. A runaway trolley is about to hit 5 people, but you can divert it onto another track where it will kill only 1 person. Is sacrificing 1 life to save 5 the moral thing to do? These dilemmas, ranging from personal decisions to societal issues, challenge us to think deeply about morality, ethics, and human behavior. They remind us that there are no easy answers, only difficult questions that shape how we navigate the world. If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content like this. Your support helps us bring you more insightful discussions on topics that matter. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and share your favorite dilemma.